There's a subtle, silent, almost imperceptible moment that occurs between a man and a woman, and it changes everything. She's married. She wears a ring. She has responsibilities. Her life unfolds according to a script she's expected to follow. Yet, when you enter the room, something within her shifts. It's not overt, not flirtatious, not scandalous, but it's undeniably there. She smiles just a fraction longer than appropriate. She lingers after conversations with you that had no need to extend. She brings up something you said weeks ago, something no one else would have recalled. She invents reasons to be near you. Even when there's no genuine cause, you begin to wonder, is she merely friendly? Or is there something more here? Am I imagining this? Or is she sensing it too? Is she drawn to me? But attempting to conceal it, here's the unvarnished truth. She won't tell you. She cannot. Not because she doesn't feel it, but because her world is constructed on the foundation of not acknowledging it. So, what does she do instead? She drops hints. She leaks it through her body language, the timing of her interactions, her tone, and the underlying tension. She won't articulate it, but her subconscious is already speaking, and only a man who is grounded, present, and deeply perceptive will recognize these signals as they emerge. That's where this video begins. We are pursuing women. We aren't here to entice married hearts. We are here to comprehend human behavior at its rawest, to discern when attraction is present, even when it's concealed behind obligations. Because, as a Stoic man, you don't operate on fantasy, you operate with clarity. And these 5 hidden clues, they are not just indicators of her attraction. They are evidence of how potent your presence has become, even in spaces no one dares to discuss. Let's begin. In a world filled with noise, most men only perceive what is loud. They chase words, react to obvious smiles, playful jests, and the kind of attention that leaves no room for doubt. But a Stoic man, he observes what others miss. He notices the subtleties. He listens to what remains unsaid, because true attraction, real attraction, doesn't always announce itself, particularly when it originates from a woman who has already chosen a path, a woman living behind vows, routines, and expectations. Yes, she is married, she has a home, a ring, a husband, a life, but she is also human. She still feels, she still notices, and sometimes, often, when she least anticipates it, she finds herself drawn to a man who carries something distinct. He doesn't seek her out. He doesn't flirt. He doesn't pursue. He simply exists with presence, grounded energy, and emotional depth, and that alone awakens something within her. Initially, she resists it. She tells herself it's nothing, but her instincts know better, and so she begins to reveal tiny fractures in her armor. A question she didn't need to ask, a text she wasn't obliged to send, a conversation that extends beyond surface level, a look that conveys far more than her words ever could. But here's what distinguishes the aware man from the unaware. He doesn't mistake these for coincidences. He perceives the pattern, the frequency, the emotional charge embedded within the ordinary. He doesn't require confirmation. He already knows. Because when a woman is married, but emotionally intrigued by another man, she cannot articulate it directly. She won't admit it. Not to you, not even to herself. But her behavior tells a different story. And if you are perceptive, if you are composed enough not to chase, but present enough to observe, you will notice 5 incredibly subtle, but powerful clues that reveal what she is truly feeling beneath the surface. This isn't about betrayal. This isn't about transgressing boundaries. This is about becoming the kind of man whose presence naturally commands attention, even from women who aren't supposed to be paying any attention at all. This is not about ego. It's about awareness. And if you are the kind of man who leads, not reacts, the kind of man who interprets energy, not noise, then what I am about to share will open your eyes to an entirely new dimension of female psychology. Let's uncover the 5 hidden clues right now. Clue number 1, she gives you her full attention, even when she doesn't have to, in a world brimming with distractions. where everyone is checking phones, glancing around the room, or half listening to half conversations, her attention stands out like a beacon. She listens to you not just with her ears, but with her entire being. She nods, she reacts, she leans in slightly even when she tries to appear nonchalant. And most notably, she maintains eye contact, but in a manner that carries emotional tension. This isn't superficial politeness, it's profound focus. She might have 10 other obligations. She might be in a crowded room with people who, by all accounts, should matter more to her. But when you speak, something within her pauses, her nervous system tunes in, and you become the focal point of her attention. Now, a woman who is attracted, but constrained by her role as a wife won't make this obvious. She'll frame it as being interested or simply being a good listener. But you will instinctively know the difference, because the way she listens to you feels distinct from how she listens to anyone else. There's a softness in her eyes, a curiosity in her body language, a rhythm in her responses that silently declares, I'm not just hearing you, I'm feeling you. This kind of attention is an expenditure of energy. And when a woman consistently, repeatedly, even unnecessarily dedicates that level of focus, it's not by chance, it's a clear signal. Clue number 2, she mentions you to others, even when she doesn't mean to. This one invariably manifests subtly. You might hear it secondhand. Perhaps someone tells you, oh, yeah, she mentioned something amusing you said. Or she herself might casually remark, I told my friend about that thing you said last week, and then dismiss it with a laugh as if it's insignificant. But what you are truly hearing is this. You occupy space in her inner world. You are not just someone she interacts with. You are someone her mind returns to. She replays conversations. She references you in anecdotes. She subtly begins to integrate you into the private facets of her life. This doesn't imply disloyalty, but it does signify that something in her brain has tagged you as emotionally significant, and that is the initial step toward attachment. The crucial detail, she will typically attempt to downplay it. She'll minimize it because she doesn't even realize how frequently your name rises. But a high-value, grounded man perceives it unequivocally. Even when you're absent, you are on her mind. And if a married woman is thinking about you more than she admits, it's because you are touching a part of her that isn't being touched elsewhere. Clue number 3, her boundaries begin to shift around you. But only you. Most women, especially married ones, maintain clear boundaries. They don't disclose certain aspects of their lives. They don't permit physical proximity. They don't delve into late-night conversations or private emotional territories. But with you, she starts to make minor exceptions. Perhaps she lingers a little longer after everyone else departs. Perhaps she responds to messages slightly faster and with a bit more playfulness. Perhaps she confides in you about her marriage, her fears, or her frustrations, things she wouldn't ordinarily share with another man. You'll discern it in her timing, in her tone, and the subtle softening of her demeanor when you are near. She may even convince herself it's nothing, that it's merely friendship. But the truth is, her emotional walls are lowering not because you forcibly brought them down, but because you drew them down by being the man she subconsciously trusts and perhaps even longs for. And this is the most precarious clue, not because it's wrong, but because it's real. When a married woman begins to create space for you, when her emotional boundaries shift, that's not random. It's a quiet confession. The kind she will never articulate aloud. Clue number 4. She lights up differently when you're near. You've witnessed it before. The woman who is poised, composed, and entirely in control until you enter the room. Suddenly, her energy transforms. Her eyes brighten. Her posture straightens. She becomes more animated, more vibrant, more feminine in your presence. It's as if she has suddenly awakened. As if her body has started broadcasting what her lips dare not utter. She might start adjusting her hair mid-conversation, touch her neck, fidget with jewelry, or play with her sleeve, all subconscious indications of attraction. And if you exit the room, she dims again, returning to routine, to restraint, to what she is expected to be. This isn't seduction. It's emotional contrast. Because you bring something into her life that her current relationship no longer provides. And her body, her voice, her vibe, they are all screaming it. Even if her words remain perfectly silent, a Stoic man doesn't become intoxicated by that light. He simply recognizes its meaning and proceeds with awareness, not impulse. Clue number 5. She tests the waters, then retreats quickly. She offers a compliment, something personal, something warm. You always make me feel better. You're different from most guys I know. I feel like I can actually talk to you. It's subtle, sweet, but it lingers. And then, just as swiftly, she pulls back. She changes the subject. She becomes nervous. She adds a laugh to neutralize the moment. Anyway, I'm just being silly. But she isn't being silly. She's testing to see how you will react. Testing whether you'll lean in or remain grounded. Testing whether she crossed a line or merely danced close enough to feel alive again. This back and forth, this push and pull, is where most men become confused. But if you are centered in who you are, you'll perceive it for what it is, a woman caught between desire and duty. A woman quietly drawn to a man whose presence makes her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time, not because you attempted to make her feel it, but because you embody truth, and that is what awakens something within her. You have just witnessed what most men go their entire lives without recognizing: the quiet clues, the whispered signals, the moments that never materialize into words, but speak volumes in silence. And now, you are not merely another man navigating this world blindly. You are the kind of man who perceives the underlying layers. You don't react. You don't fantasize. You observe and you comprehend. Because attraction from a married woman isn't solely about temptation. It's about resonance. Something within you, your energy, your stillness. Your masculine presence activated something within her that she had forgotten was even there. But here's the distinction between a grounded man and a reckless man. The grounded man doesn't pursue it. He doesn't attempt to exploit it. He doesn't allow his ego to drink from the well of validation. He simply acknowledges it and continues his path. That is power. That is restraint. That is stoicism. You didn't become high value merely to accumulate attention. You became high value so you could lead yourself, even when the path is unclear, even when the world offers tempting shortcuts. So, if this video resonated with you, if it confirmed a feeling you couldn't articulate, or helped you understand what a woman in your life has been silently projecting, then subscribe to Stoic Paradox right now. Because here, we don't offer games or gimmicks. We sharpen your perception. We train your masculine frame. We provide you with the mindset to move through life with silent force and unshakable clarity. Tap that bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Every video is designed to equip you with tools most men aren't even aware exist. And trust me, the next release delves even deeper. And if you've ever experienced this kind of tension, if you've ever had a married woman send these mixed, subtle, and spoken signals, drop a comment, not for gossip, but for wisdom, because your story might empower another man to act with strength instead of confusion. Stay grounded, lead with truth, carry presence like a sword, and I'll see you in the next one, right here, inside Emotional Positivity.